February 28, 2026. The opening hours of Operation Epic Fury. For decades, armchair generals and military analysts argued that the B-52 Stratofortress was a relic, a 70-year-old museum piece that would be swatted from the sky by modern S-300 and S-400 surface-to-air missiles the moment it crossed the border. They called it the Stratosaurus, an ancient giant in a world of stealth, hypersonics, and AI-driven interceptors. But on that moonless night, the Stratosaurus didn't just survive, it dominated. While stealth bombers like the B-2 Spirit and the new B-21 Raider moved in like surgical scalpels to disable high-end, early warning radar sites, the B-52 arrived like a 70-ton sledgehammer. Launching from Barksdale Minot and the forward operating base at Diego Garcia, these titans crossed the Atlantic and the Indian Ocean, sustained by a literal bridge of KC-46 aerial tankers. They didn't need to hide. They didn't need to be quiet. They carried enough kinetic energy to erase entire military districts from the map in a single pass. Tonight, we are going inside the overwhelming damage the B-52 has inflicted on the Iranian regime. We'll look at the mathematics of annihilation, the 70,000-pound payload that makes this the most terrifying machine ever built, and the secret modernization programs that have turned a Cold War legend into a 21st century god of war. To truly grasp the B-52, you have to look past its age and focus on one word: mass. In a modern world of precision strikes, where a drone drops a single small-diameter bomb, the B-52 is a terrifying outlier. It is designed for saturation, the complete physical destruction of a coordinate. The B-52H Stratofortress carries a staggering 70,000 pounds of mixed ordnance. To put that in perspective, that is the equivalent of 35 F-16 fighter jets combined into one airframe. But it's not just about the weight, it's about the operational sphere. The B-52 has an unrefueled combat range of over 8,800 miles. With aerial refueling, its range is limited only by the physical endurance of the 5-man crew and the oil in the engines. In the 2026 conflict, B-52s have stayed on station over the Iranian interior for over 30 hours at a time. They loiter at 50,000 feet, far above the reach of shoulder-fired missiles, acting as a permanent rain cloud of death. When the order comes, a single B-52 doesn't just drop one bomb. Using the conventional rotary launcher, CRL, in its internal bay, it can ripple fire 20 air-launched cruise missiles or a mix of 80 joint direct attack munitions JDAMs. During the strikes on the Iranian command and control centers in Tehran and Isfahan, a single 3-ship formation of B-52s delivered more explosive power than the entire Iranian medium-range missile inventory combined. This isn't just bombing, it is the systematic deconstruction of a nation's ability to exist as a functional military power. Why is a 1960s-era bomber still effective against 2026 defenses? Because the Stratosaurus has been given a new brain and new muscles. This is the B-52J, the J model that the Kremlin and Tehran feared most. Under the recent B-52 Commercial Engine Replacement Program, CERP, the old Smoky Pratt and Whitney TF-33 engines have finally been retired. In their place are the Rolls-Royce F-130s. These engines have increased the bomber's range by 30%, and more importantly, removed the telltale black smoke that made the B-52 visible to optical sensors from 50 miles away. But the real secret to its 2026 survival is the radar modernization program. The B-52 now carries the AN/APG-79 AESA radar, the same revolutionary technology found in the FA-18 Super Hornet. This allows the B-52's navigator to see every mobile missile launcher in the Iranian desert from hundreds of miles away, long before the bomber enters the enemy's engagement envelope. During the Great Scud Hunt of 2026, B-52s acted as the ultimate snipers in the sky. They used the Sniper Advanced Targeting Pod to identify the unique thermal signatures of hidden Sejil missiles through the thick cloud cover and Iranian sandstorms. Once a target is identified, the B-52 doesn't even need to fly directly over it. It can launch a joint air-to-surface standoff missile from 600 miles away. The B-52 has effectively become a floating missile silo, firing precision-guided death from the safety of international airspace. There is a psychological weight to the B-52 that no other aircraft possesses. In the 2026 conflict, US Central Command, CENTCOM, used this to break the very soul of the IRGC's entrenched ground forces. During the first 100 hours of Operation Epic Fury, CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper ordered high-volume interdiction. While B-2s were hitting soft electronic targets, the B-50s were sent to high-hardness targets, the underground bunkers and mountain facilities of the Iranian nuclear program. They didn't just use precision, they used volume. When a B-52 performs a clipper strike, it drops dozens of 500-pound bombs in a perfect mile-long line. To a soldier on the ground, the sound isn't an explosion. It is a continuous rolling earthquake that feels like the world is being torn in half. In the mountains around Natanz, B-52s used the GBU-57 Massive Ordnance Penetrator MOP, a 30,000-pound bunker buster, to collapse tunnels that were thought to be invulnerable to anything but a nuclear strike. The damage wasn't just physical, it was structural. The earth itself was rearranged. Iranian survivors from the Zagros mountain facilities reported that the ground felt liquid for hours after the Stratofortresses passed overhead. This is geological warfare. You don't just kill the enemy. You bury their entire civilization under the mountain they thought would protect them. One of the most overlooked capabilities of the B-52 is its role as a ship slayer. In the 2026 conflict, the B-52 was responsible for the total absolute neutralization of the Iranian Navy in less than 72 hours. The B-52 is the only aircraft in the world that can monitor 140,000 square miles of ocean in a single mission. During the clearing of the Gulf, B-52s were equipped with the quick-strike winged, satellite-guided naval mines that can be released from high altitude. They didn't just bomb the Iranian ships, they bottled them up in their own harbors. B-52s laid massive, invisible minefields across the exits of Bandar Abbas and Bushehr. Iranian frigates and fast boats that tried to escape to the open sea were met with precision-guided mines that were dropped from 30,000 feet. When the Iranian Makran forward-based ship tried to deploy its drone swarm, a B-52 launched a volley of AGM-158C long-range anti-ship missiles. The Makran was sunk before its crew even saw a single American ship on their radar. The B-52 proved that in the 21st century, you don't need a carrier group to win a naval war. You just need a Stratofortress and a clear flight path. In the US Air Force, they call the B-52 the Buff, the big ugly fat fellow. But to the Iranian leadership, it became the Stratosaurus, a symbol of an unstoppable, unyielding power that couldn't be reasoned with, hidden from, or bargained with. By March 4th, 2026, the psychological impact was total. Every time a B-52 took off from a base in the region, Iranian air defense crews began abandoning their posts. They knew that if they turned on their radar to find the Stratosaurus, they would be instantly targeted by an AGM-88 HARM missile from the bomber's F-35 escorts, or a standoff missile from the bomber itself. The B-52 became the ultimate weapon of mass deterrence. Its sheer size on a radar screen, the cross-section of a flying apartment building, is intended to intimidate. It says, "We are here. We have 35 tons of high explosives, and we are not leaving until you are gone." Unlike the stealthy B-2, which is designed to be invisible to avoid a fight, the B-52 is designed to be inevitable. CENTCOM reports that the B-52 has been responsible for the destruction of over 600 hardened targets in Iran, including the total elimination of the regime's mobile ballistic missile launchers. They hunted the launchers using AI-assisted sensors, loitering for 20 hours until a launcher moved out of its cave, and then deleting it from existence with a single JDAM. It is the ultimate game of cat and mouse, but the cat is 8 stories tall and carries a 30,000-pound sledgehammer. The technical brilliance of the B-52 lies in its smart weapon power interface. In 2026, the B-52 doesn't just drop bombs, it manages a digital battlefield. When a B-52J enters the combat zone, its internal computers are linked via Link 16 to every F-35, every Navy destroyer, and every ground-based Special Forces team in the theatre. This is the mothership concept. A Special Forces team in the Iranian mountains can paint a target with a laser, and the B-52, flying 5 miles above, can release a single GBU-54 that will glide directly to that laser spot. But it's the internal rotary launcher that is the real star. By carrying its smartest weapons inside the bay, the B-52 reduces its drag and fuel consumption, allowing it to stay in the air longer than any other combat aircraft. In one reported engagement near Shiraz, a single B-52 engaged 14 separate targets simultaneously, releasing a ripple of JDAMs that struck 14 different buildings in a single 15-second window. This level of multi-target lethality is something no other aircraft can achieve. One B-52 is essentially an entire air force in a single airframe. The most shocking detail about the B-52 isn't what it has done, but how long it will keep doing it. We are looking at the first century-old combat aircraft. With the 2026 modernization program, the Air Force has confirmed that the B-52J will remain in service until at least 2060. By then, the original airframes will be nearly 100 years old. Your grandfather might have flown this plane, and your grandson might fly it too. In the late 2020s, we are seeing the B-52 acting as a controller for autonomous collaborative platforms, ACPs, swarms of smaller, loyal wingman drones that fly ahead of the bomber to jam enemy radar and act as decoys. The B-52 provides the mass and the power, while the drones provide the disposable precision. It is a synergy that has made the Iranian air defense network completely obsolete. The flying machine that started in the age of the slide rule and the vacuum tube has successfully transitioned into the age of the quantum algorithm and the laser. It remains the most cost-effective way to deliver world-ending levels of violence to any corner of the globe. It is the ultimate insurance policy for American power. The damage to the Iranian military has been total. Its air defense is a memory. Its navy is a graveyard of steel. Its missile program has been buried in its own mountains. And at the center of this destruction is a 70-year-old giant that refused to retire. The B-52 Stratofortress is more than just a bomber. It is the physical embodiment of the phrase peace through strength. It has proven that in 2026, stealth is a luxury for the beginning of a war, but mass is a necessity for ending one. The Stratosaurus has returned to its throne as the king of the skies. What do you think? Is the B-52 still the ultimate weapon of the 21st century? Or should the US focus entirely on stealth? Let us know in the comments. Your analysis of air power is what keeps this channel flying. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. We'll be tracking the final stages of Operation Epic Fury and the B-52's role in the new global order. Until next time, stay vigilant. The Buff is watching.